Regret is such an awful look for you, Saiyan. You will not take my planet!
Prepare yourself, Dan Saiyan.
If you are new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. That way you never miss a video. These are today's hashtag end of video squad winners. If you would like to join them, make sure to watch till the end of this video. Drop your comment with the hashtag end of video squad for a chance to be featured in my next video. This animation is the sequel to The Invasion of Tradick. This is a trailer for it, for the conclusion of that story. Now, if you don't know what The Invasion of Tradick is, it's not just a Dragon Ball Z animation. It is a Dragon Ball Z full-length movie. It is an hour long, a long, huge project that I can only imagine how long it would have taken to create it, but it is here and it is spectacular. It is genius. And why is it so genius? Why is it so spectacular? Well, it is a bit of information that not only links up the events of Vegeta and Nappa before Raditz invaded Earth, but it also gives us a look into a mission with all three of them at the helm. The animation on its own is very, very competently made, and if I only had one nitpick about the animation, is the fact that in some shots, most characters look like they have like gigantic arms compared to their legs. That is something that seems to be corrected and rectified in the trailer for the sequel, because the animation looks like it is far superior than the original movie. Now, I'm gonna have a link to the original movie in the description below in the top comment. That way you guys can go ahead and watch it. It has over 1 million views already, so it was a very popular movie. But the actual YouTube account where the sequel is going to be is where the trailer was dropped. The creator of Dragon Ball Z Invasion of Tradick relinquished. He decided to put all his animation on a separate channel, which is a brand new channel. As you guys can see, it doesn't have many subscribers, so make sure you go ahead and subscribe to that channel. That way you stay notified for the sequel that will come soon. But seeing as how the Invasion of Tradick, there are no good guys, there really are no good guys to speak of, we have a very peculiar situation where we have two evil forces facing off against each other, and an entire film revolving around this premise. And right off the bat, you can already tell that this is going to be a fun ride, because you get nods like this one.
Just don't do anything stupid. Like that time when you dyed your armor by mistake and it came out orange and green? Shut up, Nappa!
And if you don't know what Nappa is talking about, he's talking about the first time we ever saw Vegeta in animated form. We see him and his hair is lighter red and his outfit is a different color. That's the color that Nappa said they accidentally ended up dyeing their outfits, and Vegeta told him to shut up. Even the outline of Vegeta's hair is a little bit redder in the animation, so you could tell that the actual lore matches up and that this is going to be a very lore intensive story. Nappa, Vegeta, and Raditz are on Tradick. They invaded Tradick for one reason and one reason only. Frieza has sent them all to this planet to look for a mysterious power source that he is somewhat worried about, so he decided to send his elite Saiyans to go to this planet to conquer it, find out where the source is, why the power is so powerful, and then end up terminating it. And when they get to the planet, there is nobody there besides a few people in one city, so it's completely barren. And right off the bat, they get jumped by what looks like a bunch of robots, and the robots, they get burned up. Heading straight to the mysterious castle in the city that seems to be abandoned, the trio are walking down the halls and you catch a glimpse of a portrait of Beerus on the wall. Now you think this is just a nod to the fact that Beerus exists, but it actually goes a little bit deeper than that. And once we get to the bad guy's henchmen, well, we have a Zarbon sounding character.
This will penetrate right through you.
The fight between these characters goes as you would imagine it would go, because Vegeta, Nappa, and even Raditz to a lesser extent were at the top tier of the Frieza Force, at least among the recruits and the regular soldiers. They weren't elites, but they were close to it, so it's not surprising that they would take out these guys relatively quickly. But Vegeta just burns Raditz time and time again, and I think that if we saw some of their missions, yeah, Vegeta would definitely be dogging the shit out of Raditz, because he knows that Raditz is the weakest one out of the trio and Nappa is closer to his level, so it makes sense for him to be talking shit to Raditz. The fight between the Saiyans and this new character, who we later find out is the king of this world, King Gogi, is a spectacle beyond compare. Ultimately, Vegeta is not impressed until he transforms and goes into his ultimate form. And King Gogi, he is far more powerful than even Vegeta at this point.
No wonder you are so weak. Why aren't you fighting? You're a Saiyan!
I read his power level at 22,000. I can't beat that.
Ugh, you never challenge yourself in battle to get a power boost. It's hard to get near death when you barely fight at all.
Once King Gogi evolves into his second form, Frieza actually ends up sending a signal out to the trio telling them to come back, because the power they are facing, they're not going to be able to survive it, and they completely ignore Frieza and continue on trying to defeat this guy, and they cannot. So we finally get to King Gogi's story, his backstory, and this is where this animation, this fan-made story, to me, it elevates beyond what I originally thought it was going to be, because I thought it was going to be just a beat-em-up sort of animation, you know, back and forth, no real depth to it at all, but we get a lot more into it, and we get the backstory to King Gogi. Now, King Gogi wasn't the king of this planet originally. He was the caretaker to the planet's energy source. Now, the energy source from the planet comes from the ki from all the citizens. They all kind of chip in their ki, the planet absorbs it and sends it to the energy source, and that is what he was guarding. One day, Beerus and Whis came down, and Beerus made the same deal with all of them that he always does, and that is that, give me some delicious food or I will destroy your planet. So ultimately, the food wasn't to Beerus's liking, but Beerus decides to be merciful. He decides that if they can cook up one of their own, like an actual civilian, a citizen of the planet, and cook him and prepare him deliciously for him, then he will spare the planet also. And they end up resisting, which leads to most of their termination. The planet basically gets completely annihilated, besides a few pockets of resistance. And it's not really sure if Beerus actually ate one of these guys. He probably ended up trying to eat one, but ultimately I think he did, because he didn't actually Hakai the entire planet. He just kind of demolished all of it. And once he started using his own god ki on the planet began to absorb it and collect it into the energy source, which got overloaded, exploded, and the guardian of the energy source became entangled with not only the ki from all the civilians, but god ki as well, and that is where King Gogi gets his power. So after this rich backstory, it's quite apparent that there isn't going to be any sort of victory here, but Vegeta persists and he ends up transforming into a great ape along with Nappa and Raditz, and they begin to rampage, which leaves King Gogi with no choice, and he ends up self-destructing, although it is emphasized that he's still alive, but he ends up self-destructing, and that defeats the Saiyans, who inexplicably survive and end up going back to Frieza to tell him the bad news. Now, this whole moment with Frieza, first of all, I gotta say that this animation is heavily inspired by Dragon Ball Z's original dub on Toonami. The Bruce Falconer style of music and sound effects, all that stuff is deeply ingrained in this animation. And there is one beautiful thing that this animation does that was just music to my ears.
Listen to your friend before I put you all down.
Would you like me to do it for you, Lord Frieza?
I'm feeling generous today. Instead of killing you all, I will allow you to try again.
Yes, they remade the original Frieza voice. Now, a lot of you guys may not like this original Frieza voice. Me, I love it. I've gotten used to the new one, but the original one, the one that you couldn't really tell like if he was a chick or a dude and it was really high pitched, that one I like the most. It's the most creepy one out of all of them, so I definitely enjoyed it. I liked that they brought a voice actor. All the voice acting is phenomenal. And Frieza ends up sending these guys back to the planet, but they have to get somebody else in the team. It's a 4-man team now to go back to that planet to kill this guy. And if they cannot find a 4th guy, Frieza will send Zarbon, which nobody wants to team up with Zarbon. So Raditz then remembers that he may have a brother on planet Earth, and he's gonna go try to recruit him so that way they can go into this mission, which connects everything when it comes to why Raditz is even on Earth to begin with, the beginning of Dragon Ball Z, and that is the end of the animation. Now, that is the end of the story, and we're gonna be getting a sequel here soon, but if you would like to support this animation, I'm gonna leave a link to the Patreon of The Relinquished, which is the creator of Tradick, in the description below and the top comment. If you would like to donate or help out, that is the place to do so. But if you made it to this point in the video, you are now part of the hashtag End of Video Squad. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you drop your comment with that hashtag for a chance to be featured in my next video. Today I'm going to be responding to JDubC29. Bro, happy birthday, and you don't have to feel old. And I mean, my parents are only 8 years older than you. Kind of feel a lot older now. Thank you so much for the comment. This is going to be BlackScape signing off. Take care, guys.
Subscribe for more content. Or perish.